Evening, everyone. How are we? Evening, Aaron. Im. Hi, Amateur. Hey, Luna. How you doing all? Ah, lurk away, Candy. You're fine. I'm probably going to get... Well, I've been warned I may get trolled by some of my model keeping friends. Hey, Big J. Hey, Pam. Are you coffeeed up? Are we Pamela or are you Pamula? Hey, Chris. How you doing, Chevy? Yep. Brother from another mother, Chris. So, hi, Danny Ken. Hi, Tampa Tom. You're welcome, Tampa Tom. Glad it did the trick. I actually found mine the other day when I was clearing out the cave, the Novus polish. Look, I went on Chipotle. Yep. Food and then the fish room. That sounds a good plan to me, Luna. I haven't done the food yet today, so the stream is still open as a second. Yeah, YouTube's done something weird there. Thank you, Tampa Tom. Yes, I don't know. I must have clicked something weird and it went, and so I had to come all the way out and go back in. Hey, Raina, how you doing? So we'll start first things first. What's been going on in the fish room this week? It was New Year. Yeah, I did my New Year's stream on Wednesday. So, as if you were here on Wednesday and saw the New Year's stream, I set up. Need a drink. Still not sponsored. Get the logo in shot sharp. That might help. Nom 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 nom. Yes, so I got the new 10-gallon set up Monday. Filled it Monday. Chucked 5 guppies in it on Tuesday. By Tuesday afternoon, had 19 guppies in there. Ooh. Let them know the real you, Chris. No, I do that. I have to clean up before I have visitors. Yes, that's my general Sunday. Sunday morning, tidy up. Sunday afternoon, time with Mary. Sunday evening, streams. So got that tank all set up. The guppies in there, they started dropping fry. Then when I did my water tests on there yesterday, 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and 10 parts per million nitrate. So it's all cycled, which is good. It's amazing what you can do with filter squeezings and chucking some guppies in and some bottle bacteria. It's amazing how quickly you can cycle a tank if you want to. And that wasn't with pre-seeded media in the filters. They were all brand new filters. So who else we got? Evening Frank. Evening Selfin. Thank you very much. Nice comments on the tanks behind me. So yes, baby Pleco is doing well. They're plecoing away as you might expect. Running up some e-liquids. Yeah, that's good going, Asbo. I normally go 30 gram, lasts me about 5 days. But what I've been doing over time is switching to smaller and smaller filter tips. So I'm now on the ultra slims. Itching to order more fish. Got to check the weather. That's one thing I've not done yet, Luna, is I've not ordered any fish online. generally the fish I want aren't that expensive, and the quantity I want isn't that high, so the shipping usually works out as more than the fish. I don't know what the shipping rates are in the US, but it's £15 UK to get fish shipped. And if you're buying things like platies or guppies or danios, that kind of thing, which you can get, or I can get locally, luckily England being a nice small country, it's not too far between everything. It's not too bad. I did get new fishies today. We did go to the local Maidenhead Aquatics up in Norwich. Absolutely packed out, and the fish I really wanted to get, they didn't have. Weirdly, they had male apistos, but no females. And usually there will be females and no males. So now we just have to wait to get some apistos to go into the new tank. All the fish off eBay should be here this week. Now, that's cool. Yeah, I think the cheapest I've seen is £12. It's normally 12 to 15. Hey, Sean. Sean, you're to blame. I'm considering. Hey, Joseph. How you doing, bud? Yeah, I'm considering making this flex that sits just here. There is some serious consideration into putting a bunch of sand in it and some rock and some shells, and then see what happens then. But yeah, so the person who informed me on Facebook on Monday that I had just killed my guppies. You hear my phone going off in the background. £20 shipping. Ooh. Yeah, so originally I wanted a pair of apistos. Not entirely sure which flavour. I mean, I want to breed them to sell them, obviously. But, you know, I kind of prefer the look of the more wild type, the McMaster-eye, Borellii. But obviously things like the fire red agassiz and orange flash cacatoides are more appealing to most people. So we'll just see what we can get. But what I did get was I got 5 Ember Tetras to go into the 10-gallon, which is where the apistos will go, as kind of dithers. Just have something more in there than just one pair of apistos that are hiding up in the plants. And I may well catch or try to catch the Ember Tetras out of here and move them over. Thanks for the thumbs ups, Raina. Sherry, most of my fish come from fish clubs, swaps and auctions. Yeah, so the thing is, around here there aren't really any fish clubs, so we don't tend to get the swaps and the auctions. Hey, Dan. Oh, plenty enough for a sandwich, mate. I just haven't eaten yet today. I kind of forgot. Only shipped from or to Central Ontario, Canada to April, November. Yeah, it's unfortunately the weather over here doesn't get that extreme usually, so it's not too bad, and it can't come through the postal service as it's live animals. It has to come through a courier with a specific license. Well, so the closest fish club to me is actually further away than all the local fish stores. So, you know, and hey, this is my fish club, the Fish Fam. You know, I'm trying to think, you know, within 30 minutes drive, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I've probably got 7 places that sell fish within 30 minutes. There's at least 2 that I just wouldn't go into anymore. No, 3. But yeah, that's still plenty of choice. And one of those is a wholesaler. I've got a wholesaler, Pets at Home, which is the equivalent of a Petco or PetSmart. I've got a really good one. A Maidenhead Aquatics, which is kind of similar, but just fish. And then a couple of what you call mum and pop type places, some of which are much better than others. Hey Bob, how you doing? Yeah, it's not easy being Big Easy. Yeah, Bob, I take it you've got all the links to the various things. So if you'd be so kind as to put up, I know Candy's is still running. I'm not sure if Pam's is still running or not. And Scott's as well, Alien World. If you want to put those links up, feel free. Yeah, so yeah, what I've got the. See, I'm waffling again. That's what I do. So I've got the Ember Tetras, and I also got 2 male rams who are down in the quarantine tank down here. Just sitting there for a few days to a week, just to make sure they've got nothing nasty. In my experience, the stress of being moved, being bought, caught, moved, put into a new home, if they've got anything, it tends to show up quickly. So I tend not to quarantine that long. There's Alice. Hey Alice. Mwah, mwah. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? Sorry, how you doing? Yeah, bad accent, I know, but hey, give me a break. It's Sunday. I was asleep up until about an hour and a quarter ago. Yeah, so 2 male rams, one for Mama Ram, who is in there. She's right down there. There she is, Mama Ram. Hello. She's a friendly little fishy. And then in the the platy farm, which now only has 3 platies in it, that's where Miss Ram is, and the other male ram will go in with her. So hopefully we can get some ramlets going. And then baby fish are the best fish. Well, not quite. Surprise baby fish. No, I didn't get a haircut, Alice. It's all still there. It's just tucked out of view at the moment because I know the curls put you off. So yes, all good, all fun. Yeah, and that was it. Just the 2 rams and the 5 Ember Tetras. Let's concentrate at least. Ramlet. Yeah, ramlets, plecklets, criblets, gutlets, platlets. Yeah. Hey, James, how you doing? Like I said, I did tag you in my cycling video that I put up this week, so you can confirm whether or not you got a notification about it. Yeah, and that's the reason I started quarantining Luna. Is I bought 4 Bozemanite. Put my hand up where you can see it. 4 Bozemanite, Bozemanite Angels, Bozemanite Rainbows. You can probably see there's one still trundling around in there behind me. No notification. YouTube, what do you do? Some of the streams I get notifications like 32 seconds before it ends or something stupid like that. But good to have you here anyway, James. Thanks for all your advice that you were giving out on your stream the other day. And if you're not already, I suppose most of you probably are, but make sure it's a pineapple to fish room fever, and everyone else as well while you're at it. Yeah, I think there was one originally on the, was it on Fish Tubers notifications, Pam? I think Mr. B, Brandon, he's been keeping up on that. But obviously, with all the different time zones where everyone's from, gets confusing. You know, turn the can the right way around so you don't just pour it up your nose. Advise away, James. I never say no to advice. Whether I take it is another matter. Oh, which group is that, Alice? Is that the Fish Tubers notifications group? Is it going to be speaking a more clearly understandable? Don't be a POS YouTuber. Yeah, well, you know, I am a POS and I'm a YouTuber, so. Right now, oh, breaking out the science. Do you have experience of hybridization between Pecilia reticulata and Xiphophorus maculatus? So guppies and platies. No, I've got guppies and platies in the same tank. I've got endlers and platies in the same tank, and I've not had any super weird hybrids. I know guppies and mollies can. I don't know if guppies and platies can. I would have thought, you know, they're all pretty similar. Oh yeah, that's a piece of crap. Platies going across with swordtails. Yeah. So I've not seen it, and I've had them together for a long while ish. A long while for me anyway. Let's call it a year. And in the case of guppies and platies, if they're not going to breed with each other within a year, then it's not going to happen. Yeah, I can manage it sometimes. No, I can manage to sound intelligent occasionally. Don't rip that through your bum. Yeah, really. Yeah. Welcome aboard, D. Yeah. I'm sure it's nothing you've done wrong, James. They're just needing a scapegoat, as it were. Um, so it was the only thing I can think is because perhaps your beard wasn't there. That's the only thing I can imagine. Because I'm sure you keep a tight run ship, doing everything properly. Oh no. Well, best of luck for tomorrow, Cheryl. Cheryl. So I see Cheryl. I got Cheryl and Chevy Fish. I got confused. Yeah, best of luck, Cheryl. No, hope it all goes well for you. It's never good having to go to the hospital. My experience is you go in with an injury, you come out with an illness, or disease, or infection, or yeah. Not knocking NHS hospitals, they're great, but they're full of sick people. So I try and avoid going to the hospital or the doctor if I can at all help it, because yeah, go in with a sprained wrist, come out with a stinking cold or food poisoning. Oh, yeah, spare bed. Well, you know, I suppose if it's heart, you got to have a proper bed. They can't just stick a baby's cot in the corner for you, Cheryl. As we know, Cheryl's only little, so it doesn't take up too much space. best of luck anyway, Cheryl. Best wishes and thoughts and all that stuff. Anyone who knows me knows I don't do the prayers, but healing hugs. Yeah, it definitely sucks, Chris. Yep, you got a pineapple, people. D. And if you click that little bell, that's when you call the pineapple. Yeah, so what else? I did write a couple of things down on a piece of paper, and I can't remember where I put it. Hang on a moment. Bear with me. Oh, get out facing forward so I don't flash my backside too badly. Right. I've got some things written down. And I think I've pretty much covered it all. Well, there you go. So I've been through the new editions, the super fast cycle of the tank, the GoFundMe links if either Bob, Pam, or any of the mods would like to put those up for Pam, Candy, and Scott. Oh, pardon me. As I've said, already considering switching the second Flex 15 over to Shelley's, and if Mama Ram and soon to be her new boyfriend don't get jiggy with it, if it don't work in there, that's probably going to become a shrimp tank. Probably just still to be Neo Carradina, probably his blue ones. 3-hour jobs, Regatta syndrome. Wasn't abnormal with them. Oh well. I mean, it's one of those things, Cheryl, where I kind of hope you haven't. But if it's one of those things where they've been trying to figure out what the heck's wrong for a long time, it's better to have a diagnosis and be able to work from there than not have. And my heartbeat goes all over the place. It always has done. Yeah. So I've got 2 tanks with red cherries in. There's that one there, which has probably got a couple of hundred. Yes, it's a 20 litre, so 5 gallon, a couple of hundred in there. And then just around the corner is the tank that was in my cycling video with Norman the Better. There's about 60 cherry shrimp in there at the moment. Lots of heavily pregnant ladies. How's it going, Chewy? Yeah, I'm all right. Lurk away, Chris. Get tidied up if you got visitors. Yep. Make sure you get that pack of algae wafers off of the coffee table. Or is that just me? Yeah, I mean, it sucks that they did that, James, but you know whether the store was a complete tip, looked horrible, or whatever. I'm sure it didn't. I mean, when I worked at the local supermarket, let's say Walmart, same kind of thing. Exactly, the beard keeps the employees in line. Yeah. Perhaps you just need a fake beard just hung up on the outside of your office door. That'll do the job. Yeah, people would moan and complain. These shelves aren't full. It's like, delivery only just turned up. Well, why aren't you filling the shelves? Well, because it's still being unloaded. Then it's got to all be sorted through, and then we got to have the people in to put stuff on the shelves. You know, things go wrong regularly in retail. It's just how well you can hide it from the customers. As I say, the model shop I used to work in, we had a sign behind the counter facing out towards the shop. that read, "The customer always thinks they're right." Because in the case of a mainly radio control and model shop, let's just say that the people behind the counter knew more than the people in front of the counter. Yes, I mean, there was while I was in the LFS today, I had to have a word with one of the customers because they were thinking about with their new tank, which they got for Christmas. I'm not knocking the whether it's cycled or not, you know. And so, as I know, you can do that in 3 days quite easily. It's no, I don't know what fish they already had in there. They said they already had some fish in it. They were looking at getting a better and some pea puffers to go in there. I was like, have you done any research on the fish? Oh no, we just choose the ones we like the look of. It's like, yeah, but if you put a better and pea puffers together, you're either going to wake up to a bloodbath with just bits of better floating about, or you're going to wake up to a bloodbath with a seriously chewed up better and no pea puffers. One or the other is going to happen, and your other fish will probably die as well. Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things where it kind of depends on the shop or the store that you're in. If it's a specialist type place, you know, like a fish shop or a model shop or electronics store or whatever, then you know more than the customer, guaranteed, usually. But they won't see that they can't accept that you know what you're talking about. What they heard from their mate down the pub after 12 pints is correct. So, trying to get yourself together, the bed was too comfy. Yeah, well, you know, if you got nowhere to be and you're still young enough to not get backache from laying in bed too long when you're not asleep, stay there, mate. No need to get up if you don't need to. Yeah, just chill out. It's a Sunday after all. It's only weirdos like me that are up at 4:30 in the morning. But yeah, hope it all sorts itself out and nothing bad happens for it, James. Hi, Angie. I'm not showing any issues on screen this end, Daniken. If anyone else, I assume if it had all gone blank, then someone else would have said something as well. Unless everyone else is just lurking and listening to me waffle. There we go. Thanks, Chevy. Yeah. Tap the old refresh button. The refresh, fresh. And only people of a certain age will get that joke. So yeah, well, we've got a good chunk of people in here. 23. The subject of media, not as in like TV, radio, that kind of media. Yeah. Lots of lurking, water changing going on, but that's your Sunday routine. That's your Sunday routine, and I'm happy that you've decided that you want to let me waffle on in the back in the background. But yes, so media, as in filter media, it was a bit of a it was a discussion. I'll put it that way because that's what it was. Itchy here in Dwayne's stream last night, a sensible and intelligent discussion about media, and there's been a couple of flame wars going on YouTube about how much media you need and which type it has to be. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to knock someone. Now, if someone wants to spend that much on a filter, as in a canister, and filling it full of expensive media because that gives them peace of mind, fair enough. Or if they've got the money and that's what they choose to do, fair enough. But you don't have to go back too long, well, maybe 30 years. Fish tanks were still around the same kind of size and generally had a couple of box filters in or an under gravel filter. And they were clean, healthy, all this stuff. So yeah, this is it. And then the people with the canister then say you only have to clean it out every 3 or 6 months or whatever. No. But I'll say it's whatever works is fine. But my issue is people falling for marketing hype. It always has been. Whatever it is, I hate marketing hype. I usually call it something a tad ruder. But hey, I'm smoking, I'm drinking energy drinks, so I call it marketing wank because that's basically what it is. You'll see a box for a power tool and it will claim a certain wattage. And then you quickly do the maths in your head and the wall socket cannot put out that much wattage. Ah, yes, the Supreme Master Aquatics way, yes. I'll say, I've been told more than once I need to get a Fluval FX 5 or 6 on this 200 litre because that's the only way I can have enough media to keep it healthy. And to me, bacteria doesn't mind where it lives as long as it's a suitable environment, so wet. It doesn't have to be on sintered glass or ceramic. It's just as happy on a pot scourer or a piece of. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not saying it was you, Chevy. It was just, yeah. So it just boggles my mind that, I just can't get my head around it because to me, a simple piece of sponge is just as good a bacterial home as anything else. And also to me, the bacteria, I mean, I may be wrong, but I would think the bacteria would like to live where their food source is. Correct? You want to be where the food is. Now, as far as I understand it, other than the liquid ammonia, which comes out of fish, the majority of what is breaking down and being eaten, as it were, where the waste coming out of is in the sponge, the fish poop. So surely, to me, the bacteria want to be there. Exactly. So, what we really ideally need is someone with scanning electron microscope or something. Yeah, all animals do. So, if you get a scanning electron microscope get one of these canisters. Got the 6-pounder. I use Biohome Ultimate as an example because that's the one that keeps getting preached about. I have nothing against Pond Guru. I've learned a lot from his channel. I also learned that basically he makes money off of selling Biohome Ultimate, so it's up to him to sell it to make more money. No, so I can't blame him for that. It's his livelihood. Yeah, thank you very much, Bob, for putting that up there. But now to get one of these FX6s that's been set up and running for however long, and to actually be able to look microscopically at it and see where the bacteria are living. Do you need as Ben Ochart put it, I think yesterday, do you need like 3,000 square miles of available space for the bacteria to live? Because you're only going to have enough bacteria to deal with the load that tank has. Now, do we know for a certain load how much bacteria we need, how much square space that takes up? Is there a way of figuring that out and doing the maths? Yeah, so Luna, I'm not having a go at anyone who wants to get canisters, expensive media, these things. If you want it, go for it. And yes, James, the only way to properly filter your tank is to put a Fisher & Fever sticker on it. And it's in there. I will send you a email. Very, very kindly, Mrs. Fisher & Fever has said, yes, we will quite happily send you a sticker. And I will put it on the front of my Roma, right up there for you. So it's visible in every street. Tell me what you think about his filters. They normally shut up and disappear after them. I know Lucas isn't technically my mate, but he's been nice to me. He's answered questions. I don't think he's got a mean bone in his body, that guy, but, you know, yeah, if someone could actually get the science behind it, get it all figured out, would it make any difference long term? Probably not, because people will believe what they want to believe. Some people still don't believe in evolution. Despite tomes and tomes of evidence to the contrary, they don't believe in it. So just my little rant anyway. It's just something I just struggle to get my head around, where that's it. Then you hear the argument that, well, if you've got this, then you will get the denitrifying bacteria, which will take the nitrates out of the water. But, so you don't have to do so many water changes. I'm thinking you still want to do the water changes, because it's not just the nitrates you're taking out. You're putting in new minerals that are in the water. Because let's be honest, tap water isn't pure H2O. I mean, if you're doing RO, then it's on the Oscar tank, 3 GV Oscars, 2 Fireman's, 2 convicts, and yeah. I'll say, but if you got it, you may as well use it, Luna. I'm not going to have a go at someone for using one if they've got one. It's just the people who say that you need this filter, you need this much of this media in it, or you're doing harm to your fish. People don't believe in the way it's explained to them, which is grossly incorrect. Pretty much, yeah. It's, I'm not sure I have the talent. I think I was saying the other day with people like Neil deGrasse Tyson, they can take really high-level science and make it understandable for everyone. Oh, that would be cool, Fish Kid. So, Jake, sorry. Yeah, underwater video would be cool. It needs someone who can explain the science behind it simply and clearly so everyone can understand, and then see what happens. It's the same for any kind of scientific concept, really. There are certain scientific concepts that to me would easily, but for other people, it wouldn't. Now, I remember that from school where we'd do a science lesson and teacher would explain it once and they'd be like, all right, got it. And then other kids have sat there for the entire lesson and they still haven't got it. Yeah, so less than 100 bucks, Luna, you can't go wrong. Yeah, so I think the top chat versus live chat, because mine's showing as a live chat. It says live chat. I hope it is it. Otherwise, I'm missing a lot. Yeah, the top chat, it should only be, to me, the only person who needs that option is going to be the person running the stream. Yeah, past Cheryl, I've never tried one. Yeah, it was Jake said try filling it up with tank water. It might just be that it's not sealed well enough to draw air that well, but it will draw water quite well. Yeah, air being a somewhat thinner liquid than water. But yeah, I don't know canisters. I just know I don't need one. Well, that was really welcome, James. Guessing there's some kind of delay on things. But yeah, anyway, that's. Hey Ness, how you doing? Evolution of people explain that a mummy monkey gave birth to a modern human one day. Yeah, no, that don't work. A mummy monkey gave birth to something that was a little bit different to a normal monkey, and then that gave birth to something that was a little bit different to that, and then eventually over dozens, hundreds, thousands of generations, you get Homo sapiens via the various Homo erectus, Neanderthal, all the various other ones. Yeah, get canisters for free. Want to pick up free tanks that sell the canisters? Yeah. So that is the thing. There will always be people who want to buy canisters, I would guess, Scott. So if you get it for free and then you sell the canister, you can then afford to buy all the stuff to fill it up for nothing, pretty much. I mean, all you've got to do is keep fish to see evolution happening. I mean, live bearers especially. You could take some random guppies like I do. All these are different types and colours and fin shapes and what have you. And their children will look different to those, and then their children will look different to them. And after 10 generations, you've got a completely different looking fish. Ah, yes, yeah. Yeah, that doesn't go down very well. No. Yes. And quite how a school with qualified teachers in it can go, no, we're not teaching that. We don't believe in that. Pretty much any science, Frank. At the moment, evolution, as Select Pet says, you just look at dogs. They're all the same animal. It says from a Great Dane to a Chihuahua, a wolf, and a shepherd. Yeah. I mean, heck, in the UK, and probably in the US as well, many hundreds or several hundred years ago, we had a spit dog, which was kind of like a sausage dog, but basically lived in a wheel which was attached to the spit over the fire, and it would just walk along and turn the spit. And you know the weird thing? They evolved curved spines. Sharpies can be so frustrating. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've started making it go. Yeah, I had people want to. I had people make me go to church as well. That didn't go down well with me. I mean, in my book, if you're gonna worship something and some greater deity, whichever you prefer, you don't want to be going there to do your celebrating your what you're worshipping and just sit there feeling all guilty for an hour or 2 hours or however long the sermon or whatever it is. I see the I'm careful of the terms. Let's go with churches where they play the music and everyone's up and dancing about and singing. That looks great fun. No, that looks great fun to me. They're sitting there going, "We plough the fields and scatter." Nah, that's just dull. Usually quite good at fixing stuff. Yeah, qualified. Yeah, so that's one of the differences between the UK and the US is um, large corporations, etc., and politics. It just doesn't come into schooling. It's all funded by the public. They can make a donation if they like, but yeah, who's got 20? I've got a couple of 15s, but no 20s. Welcome back, Dan. How you doing, bud? Yeah, don't worry about made it. I'll keep going until I've had enough, or until Joseph comes on. So we've got plenty of time. So yeah, I say to me, tank sizes. Yes, don't scare kids. Teach them facts. Let them understand facts. Let them figure it out. Um, cool. Let's do the others. Thought the room with Chinky. So what? Give it about an hour, and you'll be wanting to go down the chippy, Dan. That is always the problem with going for Chinese food. It's about an hour later, you're hungry again. Well, yeah, if you're a pig like me and you can devour large quantities of anything at any given time. At 60, I mean, this one behind me is 40. I call it a 40 breeder just to save confusion, but I think it's about 45. I don't think I'd really want or need anything bigger because I don't plan on keeping any monster fish or big African cichlid tanks. Yeah, it's yeah, yes. I think you're right there. First time, Bob. You don't have a Susie, but we all have a Susie. We all have a Susie Q in our lives, and therefore it's better because we all have Susie Q. Yeah. I think Bob might have a Sally Port in his mansion. Um, yeah. Well, so and that is in the UK generally a 40 is considered a large tank. I'll say the majority, if you go to somewhere like Pets at Home, no, the Petco, PetSmart, most of the tanks there will be 10 gallon or less. So it's just the general. I think in general, Dan will probably agree with me here. We have smaller houses in the UK, so we have smaller fish tanks because we have less room. You know, technically, my house is designed for 3 people to live in it. I find it a bit small just with one. Oh, thank you, Luna. At least someone likes my accent. It is a. I say it fairly regularly, but I do apologise. It is quite a strange mixture. There is Hertfordshire, Wales, Norfolk, a bit of Black Country, and some American in there as well. Yeah, small house, small fish tank. Yeah, I just make up for it. So now I've got like 9 at the moment, I think. You know, you got a lot, or many tanks when you can't remember exactly how many you have. I know only 9 compared to some of you guys is baby size, but as I say, I've only been in this hobby 14 and a half months, so I don't think I'm doing too bad. And I can see Dave swimming around behind me, just gone behind the thermometer. One of my very first fish. Oh, there she is up on the back wall of the tank behind the filter. Goldfish only need 200 litre. Fluval U2, trying to get the canister. Which ends are hard using small hand buckets. I'll say this is the 200. I've got the Fluval U4 and a box air filter in there. Keeps it perfectly, as you can see, perfectly clear. And water change was Tuesday. You know, it's not like the fish are really careful. There's a bulldozer of a bristlenose pleco in there, and I don't necessarily gravel vac it. Yeah, it's planted. I prefer to leave the plants to deal with that, and I do a 3 bucket water change every week, which is 9 gallons. So let's go with 25% water change. Yeah, I'm just a little bit bigger than Cheryl, so for me, picking up a 3 gallon bucket isn't too tricky. And yeah, still use buckets. Pythons take the romance out. Exactly. So use a bit of my neck. Couldn't use martial arts against an injured insect. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, the problem, Scott, is you're that much of an injury that you'd probably end up karate chopping yourself in the neck and knocking yourself out. Can't lift more than 10 pounds. How to use a snake. Yeah. Ah, yes, you see, I've got 4 pond-sized goldfish, but they're in the pond. I'll say goldfish, they're comets. I don't technically know what the difference is, but they're happy and friendly and eating quite happily. Come February, March next year, they'll be ploughing their way through all the frog spawn, no doubt. And if they don't eat the frog spawn, they'll eat the tadpoles. But that'll be some seriously fat comets if I eat all them, because I get usually about 20 frogs in there in the spring breeding. How big? That's 200 litre, Jake. Kind of looks small because I'm fair way in front of. Well, I say fair way. I'm about maybe 2 feet in front of it. And that one there is a 25 litre. That one that size is a 20 litre. And then I got 2 15 gallons, a 10 gallon bucket, and a 24 litre bucket. and a 150-gallon pond outside. I literally just dug a hole and put a liner in it, Cheryl. That's Rainer, do I use ferts? I do in some tanks, Rainer. This one doesn't get fertilized behind me because otherwise it just goes too nuts. As it is, I have to trim it all back every week anyway. And this, which you can't see, that gets ferts, but it's also got CO2 in it because I'm just as an experiment to see what happens. And appears to be going quite well. Everything's growing quite happily in there anyway. But the 3 new comments: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, it's quite a story. So Mary's daughter Nadine had a comet called Watson. I have no idea why she called him Watson, but she did. She's got a rabbit named Tony, so you know, what are you going to do? So then I got myself 3 comets, mainly just to check that fish could survive in my pond, because we obviously knew that Watson would outgrow his 24-litre tank. What's that? 6.5 gallon. And put the 3 comets in the pond. And then when Watson had to come, it was like, well, I've really got to name the others. I can't just have one with a name. So the others, so we got Watson, then we got Holmes, Moriarty, and Baskerville. So yeah, they're named. I do tend to name quite a few of my fish. I know it's a bit sad, but all my bristle noses have got names. Yeah, so because I own the house, I can pretty much do what I like when it comes to digging a pond. I just didn't want to go too big because I've got to find somewhere to put the dirt when you dig it out. It's amazing how much dirt you produce when you dig a big hole. Hey Jess, how you doing, sweetie? Have a great Sunday yourself. Mine's nearly over. So about so small backyard. Yeah, if you got the old concrete yard, yeah, it's going to be a prefabricated pond of some type. Double dose enough to kill off all the worms. Good. No, that's the guppies, Daniel. They're random guppy number 1, random guppy number 2, all the way up to random guppy number 387, and Brokeback. Brokeback is the only named guppy, because she's got a completely S-shaped spine, and she does absolutely fine. Gives birth every month. Proof that guppies aren't fussy. Now the 4 bristle noses are Dave, the female in here, don't ask. Bertie, the female, or the mother, who's the sunshine bristle nose. Spotty, the father, is a standard bristle nose. And Ginger, who's a long fin super red, who's in here somewhere. Every so often you see a little bit of her. She tends to hide up quite well down the back. She comes out mainly at night, I think. Rick and Morty, Suppy, guppy named Humpback, yeah. And they have character to them, so you know. Yeah. Have a good day yourself, Daniken. Don't relax too hard. I have a guitar, yes, it's a Fender Telecaster, and the amp is what amp have I got at the moment? Because it's set upstairs somewhere. It's just some crappy little 10 watt. Better name, Fishy McFishface. Great name. My bet is called Norman. SMS Customs. Wow, so is that Hanglong 1/16 Tiger RC? Nope. No, that's John Stone. I think is building a 16th Tiger, and I don't think it's not the RC one anyway. I've built one Tiger in 35th, or sorry, correct name Target, and no, they bore me. It's just 2 boxes. Yeah, I just don't like German armor, so I'm not going to be going out and buying and building a 16th scale one. Yeah, so I've not played for a couple of years, I think. Now it's actually sat over here, so you'll be able to see by the state of the strings how recently that's been played. Now, I mainly played in my youth. Let's say I've broken all my fingers, mangled both my wrists. Fingers don't bend in the right direction. I hope you're talking about the guitar there, Alice, because my belly certainly isn't. Yeah, I'm doing the same RC model to look like Tiger 131. That is the target tank I built. I did do the 35th scale Dragon 131. And don't get me wrong, you know, I've played with RC tanks in the past, and to me, you build it, you paint it. See you later, Bob. Enjoy. You build it, you paint it, everything. You run one battery pack through it. You realise how boring it is, and then you either sit on a shelf to gather dust, or you sell it. So that's pretty much. Oh, have you been upsetting Father Fish, Ness? How do you manage that? Come on. Yeah, high watt's still fairly common over here, I think. Not that I've been looking into guitars and amps for a long while. Yeah, 20 years since I bought a guitar or an amplifier. 20 or more. And I say, if you want to know the kind of music I used to play, oh, pardon me, fruity. The band I was in at college was called Shotgun Lobotomy, so that kind of tells you what you need to know. And the only reason that the guitar is sitting there is because it used to live down beside that bookcase and it don't fit there no more. Yeah, I'll say it's just one of those things not really for me. I tried one of the Tamiya RC lorries as well. Got that all built, got all the full RC gear, sound, lights, everything in there, ran one battery through it and got bored. So it sat on the shelf as a display model in the model shop, and then eventually I sold it. And the guy who owned the model shop got upset with me for selling my truck, which he was using as a display model. Banned on COVID. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we know you're not a troll, Jane. I mean, I'm a troll. if I found myself in a religious type stream, I would be a troll. I'd troll for about 30 seconds and get banned and have a good chuckle about it, and then watch something interesting. No, no, Jane's not a troll. I mean, I am Alice. Not troller Jane. That's it. Hashtag not troller. Yeah, probably ahead of me at the moment, Chewy, because I can probably remember basic chords. Oh, no, no, don't make any rack jokes, Sharp. Yeah, see you later, Luna. Yeah, enjoy your, have fun with your rack. Let's put it that way. Oh, dear. Yeah, there you go. There's always something more interesting to watch. And in some cases, that can be grass growing or paint drying, or well, that's half the thing with modelling is sitting there watching paint dry. Which is why I generally have 2 or 3 models on a go at a time. Now, Cheryl, if you got the ear, you got the ear. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what gender you are. If you got the ear, everyone just goes, yeah, you know. And I'm probably, well, I'm not tone deaf, but I don't have that good an ear. Let's put it that way. Well, I certainly ain't got the voice. I can do all the growly and the fry scream and all that kind of stuff, and I just can't necessarily do it in the right note. Probably doesn't help that I've been doing this for 30 years. Well, that's learn about fish that we can not keep. I don't know. Yeah. But you can rest assured, Chewy, today I didn't see any snakeheads. It was a different shop. There are lots of very pretty cichlids that are going to get very large in not too long a time. And there were people looking at all sorts of things that shouldn't go together. I did keep my gob shut most of the time. I couldn't keep my gob shut about putting a better with pea puffers though. That's just, yeah. As long as you can hear every instrument, that's it. You got to hear it all. I say, if you like hearing the bass, get yourself listening to some Primus then, Cheryl. You won't get much better bass player than Les Claypool, and I'm sure Chewy will back me up on that one. I never really knew what to make of Primus. Actually, it's sort of like the lyrics are kind of comedy and a bit silly, but the music is pretty damn complex. Oh yeah, lots of bass and hard rock, Dewey. Oh yeah. Oh, Lady Jake, have fun. I mean, yeah, I use a bass plectrum to play the lead, so you know. As I was saying, I think it might have been Scott's live stream. I've snapped bottom E strings on a 6 string, so you know That shows how much of an animal I am. Yeah. Get that off your mind, and then you can go about having fun. Oh, peacock gudgeon, they're gorgeous. Unfortunately, my last one died a couple of weeks ago. A pistogram of Ahita gold. Yeah, I want some Apistos. Scarlet Baddis. I would like Scarlet Baddis. I'm just not sure. Well, I'm not set up to be able to feed Scarlet Baddis. That's the problem. I can't exactly get somewhere to buy live bloodworms. Now, I don't mind doing live baby brine for fry and stuff like that, but it's, do I want them running all the time to feed? No. So they're very pretties, very pretty fishies, the Scarlet Baddis, but I don't think they're for me quite yet. Anyway, we shall see. At some point in the future, maybe. I won't say never. I think Sean was asking earlier if I go for Shelleys, it will be Maltese or Neolamprologus multifasciatus, just to prove I can say it. It's going to be a 15-gallon, so it's going to be a little ones, and it's a tank that isn't obviously visible. It's tucked around a corner. So if they start aquascaping it, so I don't like the look of it, it don't really matter. Just as long as they multiply, or multiply, as it were. Actually, that sounds like toilet paper, doesn't it? Multiply. Really. Yeah, that's one of my resolutions for this year is to breed more fishies. Yeah, I'll say it's pretty much the only one I've seen locally as well, Sean. So, and you kind of have to go with what you can get. Strangely, at the same place that, well, I say strangely because they mainly do cichlids, but yeah, same place that had the dwarf snakeheads. Oh, Tenasax. You were a smooth, sexy guy, weren't you, Scott, with the old sax? Oh, yeah, smoke on the water was pretty simple. Trying to remember. Yeah, saxophone people, yeah, they do. Yeah. So the problem, I'm going with where I got my peacock gudgeon from wasn't a good place. The only place that had them, I saw them, I wanted them, I bought them. I bought 3. One died within 12 hours, and the second one lasted a month or so, and the third one lasted about 3 months. They never got that full coloration. You could, you look close, you could see the colours, but they never popped, as it were. So whether you got a duff batch or that they had some kind of internal parasite, or I don't know, but they didn't last very long. And yeah, it's a garden centre, so yeah. You only I go into somewhere that's selling fish and judge it, as it were, before I decide whether I might buy a fish. So are the tanks clean? By which I don't mean are they completely algae free. I mean, no. Have they got muck in them, mire, gunk? You could have left that one, Pam. I ain't going to complain about that misreading, because I misread it the same as you. I was about to get my keys. But you go in and you look. Someone who doesn't keep fish would see tanks without a bit of algae in them and go, oh no, they're dirty. Someone who keeps fish would go, it's algae. It's a fish tank. It happens. The employees might not be able to go around every day and scrape the algae off all the tanks. So it builds up from time to time. To me, the odd dead fish in a tank isn't an issue. When you start seeing multiples or lots of dead fish, or if you see a fish that's got some kind of fungus or bacterial infection, you remember it, and you're looking through the rest of the tank. As soon as you spot that first one, you're looking through the rest of the tanks to see if any others have got it. And if you see another and then another, don't buy any fish from there because you're going to get something nasty with it. Yep, hashtag breeding is pleasure. Yeah. I'll be lazy. Don't blame the arthritis. We've all got that. I say we've all. I think it's, in my case, I've broken too many bones, so I've kind of got a bit of it, but it don't really bother me much. I just have a good crack and clears up. Yeah. Bone saxophone 2. Yeah, I'll say I struggled with the wind instruments when I was younger, and now these, if there's muck on the outside of the tank, I mean, watermarks, they may well have caught some fish out there half an hour ago and it's just dried on the outside. But yeah, just there's a difference between a bit of algae in a tank and an accumulation of gunk. You can generally get a feel for a place. I mean, like the wholesalers I go to, the fish are all really happy, healthy, great. It's not brightly lit in a lovely shop. The tanks aren't spectacularly clean. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're going to get stronger fingers, Cheryl, when you start picking up that base. That is the thing. What's Pam on about now? Oh, dear. Yeah, I say once you've got a bit of experience, you can walk into a fish shop and judge fairly quickly whether you're going to buy fish from there or not. So actually the closest to me, next town up on the A11 in Wyndham. Actually, yeah, Wyndham. Try spelling that in the chat. And I know it was where my foster dad went and got fish when I was a teenager. I walked in there. I'd only been keeping fish a few months. And I looked and I went, yeah, those tanks look filthy. Look closer. You go, that's better. That's not a better. That's a gourami. Those aren't neons. They're guppies. Huh? Yeah, that's how. I've never been good with woodwinds, but woodwind or brass, it's the whole blowing a raspberry into it permanently. Right, and oh yeah, can't beat a bit of Roxy music. Right, I'll be back in a minute. It's that time of the stream again, unfortunately. Ooh. Right. Here I am. Right, that's better. Comedy t-shirt alert. Oh, where are we going? Keyboard case with tablet. Yeah, difference between established and dirty. There actually is a light or a set of LED lights on the bottom of the shelf, Scott. The only problem is I had to unplug them to plug in everything for that tank, and the tank that's just below me as well, which has got the 2 male rams in. I was saying that's only part of the model collection. The rest of the DVD shelves in the rest of the front room have all got tanks on them. There's a bookcase in the model cave that's full of tanks and planes. Most of the windowsills around the house covered in tanks. Yeah, there's some very cool stuff. Oh no, that's sad, Dan. Now, was that because you loved the song, or did you fancy Robin Beck? I'm guessing probably a bit of both. Well, see you later, Alice. Mwah. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm guessing you're probably back to work next week. Yeah, a bit of prog rock. Yep. I'm sitting at a weird angle now, aren't I? Yeah, a wee bit of both. Yes, I was kind of similar with I Think We're Alone Now by Tiffany. Well, that was more her than the song. It was that 1988, so I would have been what, 12? Yeah, so a couple of years after that, I started listening to Nine Inch Nails, and then Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and Ministry, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Manic Street Preachers. Yeah, another shout out for the Manic Street Preachers. First 3 albums, awesome. Next few, kind of got old and fat. But the Holy Bible is an absolutely amazing album. Oh yeah, that we have to see. Scott playing the guitar with fig leaves on, doing the Fig Newton song. That would be hilarious. It all depends how big a fig leaf he needs. We got Jason from Jadron did Fish Nerd. We got Lucas LRB did Mr. Pleco. Tim's Desk London. Howdy Timbo. That fish behind me. Which one, Tim? And do you want the common name or do you want the scientific name? Thanks for tuning in anyway, Timbo. Exactly, it go viral. At one. What? At one. The Xiphophorus maculatus. Or possibly whichever ones are actually up showing. And I just realised I can't remember all the pelvicochromis. No, other one, Mr. Goldfish. The gold colour one, that one. Well, that one's actually called Daddy Platty. That one's called Bimble, but there's Xiphophorus maculatus. Common name Platty, Tim. Live bearers. Fig plants got. In the UK, you can probably get them in health food shops. Places that sell, the food that no one else. Yeah, you've got to name your pets, Tim. Come on, you named your kids. I mean, you may not necessarily call them what's on their birth certificate most of the time. I hope Toby had a good birthday, by the way. I'll say, you guys taking it in turns to drop in and give me some grief. As Paul did warn me on Friday that it might happen, so closest fig tree in winter in Maryland. Yeah, as I say, it's one of those things. I think certain kid 1, kid 2, oi, you, little git, sod. Oh, and shut up. Tim's desk, London. Yes. Oi, oi. You can try and troll me, Tim, but you see, I've known you for too long. I'll troll you back. Oh, no. Nah, you mean it, Dan. See you later, Jess. Have fun. Yeah, or a fig roll. That might be big enough, Sean. Surely you can buy plastic fig leaves. I don't know. I don't eat figs. What eating figs does, I have that problem already. So having something that's going to increase that, no, not a good idea. Pardon me. Yes. Anyway, Tim, when are you going to do a review on that Model Factory Hero Mazda 787? As you know, we're going to keep bugging you until you do it. None of the rest of us are going to buy one of them. Or maybe if I won the lottery, I'd buy one just to do a review and save you from having to do it. Yeah, have a good day, Jess. Enjoy yourself, whatever you got to do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they may have something to say about that, Dan. At least these days you're not allowed to force your belief system onto them. No, Shady's back. Just so mods know, don't delete or block Tim. He's my mate. We're just bantering. He's in on trolling duties. As Paul said Friday night, he's amazed that everyone's let me get away with it for this long without trolling me. So. Oh. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. You're Paul's friend, aren't you? Yeah. Need a much better mic, Chewy. One. Yeah, it's tricky to get a mic that will pick up an acoustic well. Because you got to be close enough for your voice to carry and come through well. But then if you start playing a guitar near it, it can either overdrive or you get far enough away that the guitar sounds decent. It's a tricky thing to do. Yep, one of those meetings. Yep. Yep. Perverts Anonymous one, it's in. There's one where we're working out which were the best routes to avoid the local parks. Oh, God, best mics. It's like the problem is, Sky, if you're looking at a mic that will do justice to an acoustic or any instrument, because the frequency range of a guitar compared to a human voice. A human voice is such a limited, Park Bands Anonymous. The human voice is such a limited spectrum that it's easy enough to make a microphone that will pick it all up. Whereas you take a musical instrument like a guitar, from the lowest note, the bottom E string, to the highest note, 25th fret on the top E string, getting a microphone to pick up that range that's when they start getting expensive. I'm just using a Logitech C920 webcam here, so God knows what that would sound like if I started strumming. And plus, I know if I strummed that, I'd probably snap a string and slice my face open with it. Yeah, too complicated. Yeah, it is. It's frequency response is what you need to look for. And the majority of microphones are made for picking up speech these days, rather than, if you go back pre-internet or pre-live stuff on the internet, most microphones were designed for singing or picking up an instrument. So, the electret condenser type mic, which is what is found in most things these days, just isn't that great. You need something like a ribbon. I think I've got one kicking around somewhere. I've got a decent microphone, don't know where. Be in the bottom of a wardrobe, probably somewhere underneath a pile of radio control cars or fishing gear or something like that. Yeah, it's I'll say it's the thing is, the things people want microphones for these days is different to what they wanted them for 20, 30 years ago. Even a lot of the sort of more expensive, Rode mics probably pick up a musical instrument pretty well. Chewy's been a bit quiet, so he's probably Googling away and finding the right thing. Yeah, that's it. They can't handle. No, if you get too loud, they just distort instantly. Whereas a proper microphone with a proper receiving coil or ribbon, all a microphone is basically is a speaker. Which is why if you were to speak into the headset or speak into an earbud with a recorder attached to it, you'll hear your voice come through. Yeah, they can't handle the pressure. The louder the noise or the high dynamic pressure, they just can't keep up with it, literally. It's the same with all the little tiny in-the-ear headphones, the earbuds that seem to be so, it's too much. The mic can't pick it up and respond fast enough. So it's all the little, all the diaphragm goes bang. Yeah, that's the other one. That's my problem with the earbuds. The speakers are just too small in and they don't sound good. I mean, heck, I've got what I consider a small pair of headphones. You know, small, cheap pair of headphones, and they knock an expensive set of Beats or whatever into the ground, sound quality wise. Yeah, I mean, as Chewy knows, I mean, I've blown more than one speaker in my time. Yeah, it could, but you know, they're made to a price, Scott. That's the problem. So we want a microphone that we can sell for $15. So therefore, it's got to cost us less than $3 to make it, and we're probably going to spend just as much on the packaging as we do on the product. The blue mics, again, no, they're a better mic, like the Snowballs or the Yetis or anything like that, but they are mainly designed for voice rather than music. Yeah, the blue Snowballs. Yeah, I mean, they're better. Don't get me wrong; they are better than a webcam mic like I'm using, but they're still not ideal. I'm sure Chewy could probably easily do a little bit of Googling and find something suitable. I'm trying to remember what the heck mine was. I think it might have been a Yamaha. Was it a Yam? Yeah, I think I've got a Yamaha mic sitting around somewhere. Donkey's years old. And that picked up, what was the frequency range on that? It was something like 15 hertz to 25 kilohertz. Yeah, yeah, especially if you've got like an electric guitar or something direct in line. The only problem I say is with the acoustics, you need something to pick the sound up. So unless you mount a pickup into it, yeah. Yeah, when you do, Scott, I say if you're still on a budget, go into your local guitar shop, and depending on what you want, I mean, you can get a Fender Telecaster or Stratocaster, and you can get a Squier Stratocaster or Telecaster. Now, the Squier is about a quarter of the price at most, at minimum, quarter of the price. And if you get a good one, they don't sound that much worse. You know, they're not made quite as well. You know, they're a little bit rough around the edges. The finish isn't quite as good, but you know, it's the noise it makes. So yeah, any decent guitar shop will let you let you have a go on a variety of instruments. When I got when I went out with a mate because he wanted one, we went. I think I played about a dozen different, the same exact guitar. I played about a dozen before I went, yeah, you want that one? Yeah, he's got to make sure the neck's not out yet. So that's it. Yeah, also, yeah, it might. I don't know whether it would work out cheaper to fit a pickup onto an acoustic or getting a cheaper electric. I'm not actually on the last acoustic I had. I smashed. Aha! Hey Brian, how you doing? Yeah, I'm still here. I've had me break so I can keep going a while. I haven't really got much to do anyway else this evening, so yeah. We're talking musical instruments at the moment, electrifying acoustic guitars. Yeah, it's in your Amazon search bar, Scott. Biggest Loser started. Yeah, so I tend not to watch TV anymore. But yeah, in your Amazon search bar, Scott, put something like electric pickup for acoustic guitar kit and see what comes up. No, you're not looking for something like a Sustainiac or a humbucker. Acoustic guitar, Yamaha THR series amps. Yep. I mean, Yamaha electronics are always good. On hell, the Yamaha guitars usually sound better than some of the expensive ones. Yeah, so they're not going to be expensive, I wouldn't have thought. Humbucker, Dan, humbucker. Two pickups that are, are they 90 or 180 degrees out of phase, Chewy? Humbuckers. Basically two pickups that are out of phase with each other. Yeah. Yeah. I still get some of my RC gear. No, Brian, I ain't going to play Stairway. I'm never going to play Stairway. I refuse point blank to play Stairway. If my fingers still worked properly, I would do Plug In Baby by Muse for you. Although when it got to the singing part, everyone would turn off. Because there ain't no way I can hit the notes that Matt Bellamy can hit. Standard acoustic pickup, yeah. I say it's been a long while since I looked at any of this stuff, Chewy. So were they 90 or 180 degrees out of phase? I think it's reverse phase, so it'll be 180 degrees. Oh no. If there's one thing that's guaranteed to cause more arguments than model making, it's music. Yeah, I would say they're pretty much one of the very few current rock bands going at the moment. You know, I mean, you look at sort of the last 20 years. What guitar gods have we had? Not many. But no, Matt Bellamy, definite guitar god. Even if they've got even weirder lately. Stuff like Plug In Baby, Knights of Sidonia. The bass line from Hysteria, that's what you want to learn, Cheryl. Yeah, but Slash is from the 80s, Brian. I mean, Appetite for Destruction was what, 87? And no, he's a solid guitarist. I think he's. I don't want to say overrated, but I think he possibly is. He's a good guitarist, but he's not as great as some people think he is or say he is. Let's put it that way, in my opinion. So, no, nothing wrong with a bit of Guns N' Roses. They got some cracking tunes. But no, there are certain songs come on that just everyone knows. You know, Paradise City, November Rain, Civil War. Stuff that everyone knows and will sing along to. And I'll quite happily. I've got Appetite and I've got Use Your Illusion. Probably Chewie's better for that. My computer savviness is not up to that. I'll probably end up killing the stream. Trying to think what the most recently released album I bought was. Probably Rainier Fog by Alice in Chains. That's got to be a couple of years by now. We can soon make Chewie a mod. That's not a problem. He's not going to do anything naughty. While I'm going, I'm going to have more mods and viewers, but no, never mind. There we go, Chewie. I've made you a mod, so if you want to find a link, or if you would be so kind as to find a link for Scott, then that would be very good. Punk covers are good. Yeah, I'm old school. I generally prefer the originals to covers. Couple of very rare exceptions. I mean, Disturbed's Sound of Silence was absolutely amazing. Johnny Cash's version of Hurt, that was, in my opinion, almost as good as the original. If you listen to it, if you have the video, it's better. If you listen to it without the video, the original is better, to me anyway. Best version of Nothing Compares to You is Chris Cornell's version. That is just spine tingling. Yeah, the Sound of Silence, great. Yeah. It's Human Being. Yeah. Trying to think what other covers. I think there's only one recording of it, and it's a really bad live recording. I mean, the audio's good, but the picture's bad. Is Alice in Chains and Gretchen Wilson doing Barracuda by heart. That was excellent. Yeah, so covers, you go, oh yeah, I remember that, and then you go back and listen to the original. Yeah, I've done that more than once. House of the Rising Sun, yeah. I mean, another good one was Disturbed's Land of Confusion, the Genesis song. They covered that as well. But yeah, if you're doing a cover version, you've either got to make it different enough from the original that it doesn't get straight compared, so change the genre or something a little, or you've got to be better than the original people, which is where someone like Chris Cornell can basically, or could basically just go, yeah, I can out-sing you without trying. And then when he tries, it's like, oh my God. You know, it's rock music, so it's just shouting. Pat Benatar doing Wuthering Heights. Oh, I've not actually heard Pat Benatar doing Wuthering Heights. I'm guessing it's probably an octave lower than Kate Bush. I mean, Kate Bush, great singer and songwriter. A voice that could probably crack windows if you weren't careful. I've got to start getting the human fiery bed. Yeah, I'll probably only go in another 10 minutes, Dan. So if you're not back by then, enjoy your week, buddy. Unless I'll see you later in Joseph's stream, which is in 2 hours. Yeah, assuming Joseph's going live. So my musical tastes are strange. Hue and Cry did. Songwriter of Fig Newton commercials. Yeah. But I mean, now, given some of the music I've heard recently, um, let's just call it chart music, shall we? Yeah, you're a more talented songwriter, Scott. And you probably got better timing and a better voice than the majority of them have, let's be honest. I know I can't really knock people's singing voices, but I never claimed to be a singer. These days, it seems more about how you look than actual talent. Brian Welly sing and play guitar at the same time. I just find it kind of happens. I'll be playing something and I'll start singing along, start singing the song, which can be a bit awkward when you realise you're accidentally playing something like Toxic by Britney Spears. Hand stops working. So you can't do the old rub your belly and pat your head at the same time then. Yeah, it's one of those where you noodling away on the guitar and you think, I recognise that chord sequence. And you start playing it, and you recognise the chord tunes, but me, I've got the distortion turned on and drop tuning or something like that, and I'm going, I know this, I know. And then you realise you're playing something like Britney Spears or, because you accidentally came across the right chords. Yeah, it tends not to happen when you're doing that with some of the weirder rock music. Yes, I did accidentally figure out how to play Toxic, and then made sure I forgot it just as quick afterwards. You're just noodling away, playing different. Not many guitar players that singers can handle playing lead at the same time as they sing. Now, hats off. People like Jerry Cantrell, absolutely nails it every time. Without Cantrell's vocals, Alice in Chains wouldn't sound right. Rhythm. Yeah, it's. Even like Jerry Cantrell now, he says, I've got someone off stage doing all the switching with the pedal box for what are the effects or whatever, because I can't be dealing with that, playing a guitar and singing. I mean, if you watch some guitar players, rock guitar players, and you look at their feet, some of them look like they're blooming tap dancing. You're like, really? But, you have to do more and more things to get a more and more unique sound these days because so many people have done it. Yeah, I'll say there is a difference between lead and rhythm. I think I'm more rhythm, or used to be more rhythm than lead. But I had an annoying habit of playing twice as fast as I should have done. And we all know that the drummer can count to 4. That's why they're the drummer. They can count to 4. Guitar players have got the drummer jokes. Drummers have got guitar player jokes. Everything, and then everyone just jokes and takes the mickey out of the singer. Rudy Schenker, yeah. Scorpions, yeah. Yeah. No, it's Wind of Change is just one of those classics, though, isn't it? So, not the most inventive of solos, I've got to admit. But it's when you have to explain to someone what the Moskva is and where Gorky Park is. You know. Yeah, so, yeah. Rock music where what the person's singing might not necessarily be what they're actually talking about. Unlike pop music where it is just pretty much, this is what I say, this is what I mean, or this is what I've been told to say, this is what that means. Now, we know songs are about different things. Like Under the Bridge is not about being under a bridge, it's about heroin addiction. You know? Um, and various others. Because that was very funny. Because it was an English girl group, kind of like the next Spice Girls. Girls Aloud, I think. Was it Girls Aloud or was it All Saints? One of them. I think it might have been All Saints. And they did a cover of the Chili's Under the Bridge. And they performed it on some Saturday morning kiddies TV show. And everyone's raving about it. And then they had the call in where the people get to phone in and speak to the band. They're going, "Oh, I love you, little kids." And next one, you do realise that song's about heroin addiction, don't you? And you just see all their faces drop as the penny twigs. Like, oh. Yeah, you've been singing about heroin addiction to the preteen girlies. Well done. And I would say that would get me demonetised for talking about that, but not there yet, so haven't got to worry. Michael Schenker tribute and Scorpion tribute. I'm saying tribute because trib to me means something a bit different. Cheryl, it means something rather crude and rude. Hey, it's not taking over the channel with music. I love music too. Now, if a bunch of modelly peeps turned up, we'd be talking about models. Bunch of fishy peeps turn up, we talk about fish. Don't matter. Free for all here. It isn't. We will talk about fish and only fish. No, off topic is good with me. No, it's. I guess Tim Air has left, but Tim's a member of one of the, or a big part of one of the Facebook groups I'm an admin on. Yeah, he's also an admin. And we've been having a lot of problems of late of people complaining about off-topic posts. Why is this post on a modeling group? Well, because it's funny. You know. I'm going with either Michaela or Rudette. No. This is a pretty much an open forum for discussion. If you want to talk about whatever, let's try and keep it away from politics and religion, just because that's guaranteed to cause fights and arguments. But other than that, pretty much anything else is fair game. I'm an open book. Oh, Barbara Schenker, yeah. Why didn't I remember that? Jeez. I'm getting old. Not listening to music at home. This is preamp with pop. Oh yeah, I know how that feels, Cheryl. Um, if you just want to buy a normal hi-fi these days, it's absolute chore. You're like, no, I don't want something tiny. I want something with proper size speakers, something with a proper tape deck, and oh, we have a modelling question. Oh, here we go. As Bo Aaron, I have. So, best way to cut into a model, as I have to place a photo etch spoiler wing on the car. Yep. CA glue. Yep. Super glue is your best bet for that, unless you're really good with resin. So yeah, super glue. And the best way to cut into it is, I would say, score gently with a scalpel. Good sharp blade in it. And either slowly cut your way through or just score it slightly inside where you need to cut so you don't leave a big gap. And then a razor saw is the other option. Yeah, personally, I'd score it so I get a starter line, something for the saw to follow with the saw, and then go along with the razor saw behind it. Unless I was feeling like a complete animal, then I'd break out the Dremel and just hack it out. Yeah, I would say the most efficient and safest way would be scalpel and razor saw. If you've not got a razor saw, just keep scoring away with a scalpel and you'll eventually get through. Yeah. So that covers that one. Yay, I answered the question. Jerry missed me on view one time. There you go. It's funny how these things work out, isn't it, Chewy? It's almost like karma. Right. So, Excel blades waiting for the handle since September. Oh dear. I would think that's probably got lost in the post. Base preamp, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I can understand. Turn up music a bit loud. That could well blow the preamp. Yeah. Brands of CA I would recommend, Aaron. Personally, I use Loctite most of the time. You're probably looking for a medium viscosity rather than a gel, because the gel tends to leave a good splodge, and the thin will just run off. And could still be on the way, then you never know. But yeah, it's always good to have a spare knife handle anyway, because personally I use different size and shape blades. I've got the Tamiya razor saw, photo etch razor saw blades. I use those a lot, so they're in one knife handle. Yeah, being a lead is just too much hard work. So 20th of Jan. No, you might still be on the way then. It's probably been sent by ship. That's probably why it's taking a long time rather than plane. Yeah, it's on the slow boat from the States. It's one of them things. Free shipping, you have to kind of have a plastic one with the blades on. Yeah, they do that. They do the plastic. Plastic threads wear out. That's what they do. Especially when you tighten them up over a stainless steel or chromed stainless steel blade and a brass collet as well. Plastic on plastic would probably lock solid. You never get it undone. Especially if you spilt some tet on it, then you'd be screwed. Been there, done that. Yeah. So unless anyone else has got any questiones, I'll leave it another minute or so. I'll finish me ciggy and I'll disappear forth. Rocket do a medium. I think probably most of rockets are a medium. The only time you'll tend to find a super thin is for gluing RC car tires. So someone like Proline, or I think Bob Smith does an extra thin. Yeah, the main one to avoid is the gel, because that just goes all spoogy unless you're really careful with it. But yeah, it's just a standard super glue. There's not really any difference between any of them, technically. I mean, the only real difference is, does the lid clog up within about 3 uses? It's a chemical. Some of them have a rubberizer in them to make them less brittle, but they don't tend to stick quite as well. And it's one of those things where, to me, people get caught up on a brand. I just use the Loctite because I can get it locally and easily, and because the bottle doesn't clog up and it doesn't go off in a week. Because that can be the problem. If you get your super glue from a model shop, first photo etch somewhere, especially since it's Japanese import. Only love the kit, yeah. I'll say it can be a bit daunting at first, photo etch. I think I've got a couple of videos, at least one or two, on how I do photo etch. Is it just the wing mounts, or is it the entire wing that's etched? Because I do, if I'm sticking brass to brass, I prefer to solder it rather than glue it. But then I'm weird. Yeah, so just take your time, Aaron, and where can you buy rigging? Oh, we're talking like the Easy line. I know Ushi van der Rosten sells it. I would have thought somewhere. Where are you, Josh? Are you UK or US? Because that'll influence my answer. If you're UK, I would have said try Hannants or Ushi van der Rosten direct. And if you're US, try Matt Bowl at, oh God, what's he called? Hobby World USA. UK. So yeah, either Hannants or Ushi van der Rosten direct. Probably either, well, probably Hannants. If not, E-models might have some. Yeah, so you glue in plastic to brass. Yeah, just super glue then, Aaron. UK, yes, yeah. Hannants, E-models, Ushi, or possibly Hysterex. Yeah, Kent models do quite a lot as well. I've noticed they've been advertising quite a bit lately. Rush the Gundams or Unstoppable, yeah. We've all bounced model kits off walls. Yeah. I've got any gun down close by. Not easily accessible, no. Yeah, I've done the. I'll say the only thing I've not built and completed is a boat. Yeah, so once you start going down that rabbit hole, Aaron, you can keep going a long way down the rabbit hole. Some of the kits I've seen that people have built is more aftermarket than original kit. Each their own. If you want to buy it, you can. I'm not going to knock someone for buying it. What gets me is the instantly replacing the tracks on a tank with Fruels because they're better, or the instantly replacing the gun barrel because it's metal. Yeah, and it's not that difficult to get the seam out of a barrel if it's in two pieces. All right. So if we've got any other questions? Because it's approaching time for me to go and drain the vein again because I'm getting old. Oh yeah, that is a deep hole. Don't worry about the paragraphs. Yeah. T-shirts still bad quality prints. Yeah, I'd say. I'm not. Don't know. Can't remember what the most I've spent on aftermarket for a kit was. It was either the 24th scale Typhoon, because that needed a fair bit. The Airfix one, which had the Edward guns in it, the resin tires. Yeah, so resin guns, resin tires, resin intake, photo etch set, mask set, seatbelt set. Was that it? Was it? I think there was a couple of other little bits as well. Or the flanker where I bought resin weapons, wheels, exhausts, Edward cockpit set, which technically I already had, and the etch set. None of which actually fitted because they were designed for the Academy issue 27. Yeah, I say just take your time, Aaron. That's the thing. If you get to something you're not sure of, maybe try another kit that's got some of that on it that you don't mind messing up so much. That's my kind of thinking anyway. But then, no, I just jump into stuff and go for it. But, you know, I've been building models a long time. The building part comes easy for me. It's the painting and the weathering that gets me. Anyway, Siggy's done, and I need to visit little boy's room again. So I will say thank you everyone for tuning in, and those who stayed here for full length, well done for not falling asleep. And same time next week, I shall be here. Hope to see some of you too. Yeah, there's not too much difference between S14 and S15. Anyway, enjoy your fish keeping or your modelling or whatever your hobby is, music. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Rock on. Don't forget to hit the old like and pineapple buttons. Bye bye.